And before you start, Karen, I have a special announcement. A
Okay.
special that was just came through the wires that right now, when you buy one sleeve of X39, you get 10 free.
Woo! Nice.
April Fools.
You
All
got
right.
me.
Good morning. Happy April Fools, everyone.
That's a good one, Gregory. I love it.
That was actually cruel, quite cruel.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay. I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. All right.
Me too.
Mama,
Yes.
you guys want to leave for the temple right after Lady's class?
Oh, we're gonna have to mute people.
Make sure you mute yourself when you come on if you're not already muted until you're ready to talk. So, hey, this is Karen O'Neill. I am here streaming from sunny Mexico. I'm inside though because I'm living in town now and there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And I want to welcome you all. It's a warm welcome to every single person who's here. Those of you who come every single week, you've been here for years like I have. And for those of you who are new, a special warm shout out and hello and welcome to this wonderful world of magical bliss. I mean, that's maybe a little over the top, but it's true. We call this the Monday Morning Miracle Call for a reason. It seems like a miracle. I really like to remind you, it is backed by very robust science, but I will take it in any form it comes because it's a hallelujah moment when you get out of pain, when you have all kinds of wonderful things happening in your body. So what we do this morning is we come together and we share our own stories, our stories of people close to us, things that we've been blessed enough to experience with them. We make it kind of short. We do not make any claims to diagnose, treat, or cure any named disease. We just use these patches and we let them do their magic, which is science, and let the bodies do whatever they need to be in their very best shape ever. I don't know if you know this or not, but average people, by the time they're 60, are often taking 10 medications. I'm not average. I'm more than 60 and I'm only on one. And that's something I've had since my 20s and I would die without it. So I take it. So I just want to tell you that sometimes when your body's in really good shape and you're doing all kinds of good things, you don't need all that extra stuff, but always check with your doctor. So when you come on, please tell us what's going on in your life. How were you? What did you patch with? We're going to start the first 15 minutes with just X39. And what was the outcome? Make it short, like maybe 30 seconds, maybe up to a minute if you really need that much time to get everything across. And remember, you bless our community with your stories. Maybe you've told it before, maybe you should tell it again. So you just raise your hand and then I call on you and we just get on the road with sharing what's going on. So raise your hand, leave it there until you're done with your story, and then we'll get going. So we're going to start with Lavelle and then Michelle. So let's get going. Enough of my voice. Come on, Lavelle.
Hi, Karen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I've been with LifeWave now for 4.5 years. And a friend of mine, his name is Chuck Walker. He owns his own hair salon, beauty salon. And I gave him a whole sleeve of patches. Why did I do that? Because he's one of my leaders from another company. And guess what? He put it on the top of his dresser and left it there for a couple of months. But Chuck works 7 days a week. 7 days a week. So he came home one day and he was so tired. He felt like he was going to have a stroke. This is God's honest truth. And he laid down on the bed and he looked up and he was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? His bath water was running and he didn't know what was happening. He said, let me see if these patches work. And he grabbed the patches, he put the patches on, and he said it felt like the life came back into his body. And after that, the rest is history. He brought in so many people, probably like 60 or 70 people personally. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. Hey, Lavelle, that's a great story. People like to have energy. They like to feel good, and you help them feel good. That is awesome. Thank you very much. And you can lower your hand now, and we are going to move right on to Michelle.
Hi there, Michelle from Kimberley, BC, Canada. Quick X39 story. Well, I'm a pharmacist and I have had the pleasure and opportunity to introduce X39 to a number of people. But one story that comes to mind is I had a lady who is a retired nurse and about 75 years old. And she came to me because we're compounding, and so we make a lot of medications from scratch. However, she had a lot of allergies, and she had been complaining of extremely sore, hot, red hot, painful knees whenever she would go for an extended walk. So I said, here, let's try X39. And so she tried it for a week. She came back after a week and she said she'd been for 3 long, hour-and-a-half length long walks through the snow and slush. And each time she got to the vehicle and was expecting her knees to explode with pain, and there was nothing. So this has greatly changed her life. And then she was quick to refer a number of clients, and that's my story.
Awesome. That's exciting. I love it, Michelle. Wow. And to be able to do those long walks and not hurt, there is a lot to that. Fabulous. You can lower your hand now, and we're going to just keep on going. These are great stories, you guys. Keep them coming. Myrna, come on in.
Yes, a good morning to all. I am from Barbados, West Indies, and I was introduced to the product by my friend because my sister has a cognitive challenge. And even though I'm very energetic for my age, I thought I would try them as well. And I've been trying them for 2 weeks now, and we are seeing some really good energetic changes. For me, I felt as though my cellular system had become awakened, and I wasn't dragging my limbs around. So I had another energy from within me that made my body seem as though it was alive. And so I'm extra moving and extra busy and not having to force my limbs around. And my sister, she was able to recognize a change in her caregiver. She came in blue and changed in white. And when she went over to her, she said, "Didn't you come here in blue?" We all thought that was a magnificent kind of change because she doesn't remember from 1 minute to another. And so we are going to continue it with the water and the patches. And today I am wearing it on my third eye because I'm a yogi. And I think the third eye, as you know, tend to be important for us. And I will share next time what the experiences are. But so far, very good. More energy, more movement, more everything. Alive. Thank you.
Oh, Myrna, that is beautiful. And what a beautiful soul you are. I cannot wait to hear your update. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing that beautiful testimony and your beautiful energy with us. Okay, let's move on. Oh my gosh, these stories are great. Let's go with Diane.
Actually, Allie was next.
I'm sorry, Allie. Diane is, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
I had the gift of being able to babysit for my 8-year-old granddaughter in Manhattan. I have not felt safe to do this since before I had the patches. So for a whole day, it was nonstop. She's the most fantastic kid on the planet, and I have others. And when her parents came home at the end of the day, they said, "You must be wiped out," because everybody else who sits with her all day is wiped out. I wasn't wiped out. We were up for many, many more hours. And I'm grateful because I believe it's the energy I get from the patches.
Absolutely. And you get to live your life to the fullest, which is, there's just nothing better. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And hooray, that is wonderful to be able to spend that time with your loved ones. It's great. Okay, let's go with Kamei and then Sunshower.
Good morning, everybody. I want to share my original story with the people that haven't heard it. I've been on the patches. I live in Georgetown, Texas, and I've been on the patches for 1.5 years now. But I was very reluctant to start them. And can you guys hear me okay? I'm getting a sign that says, "Looks like you're done talking."
No, you're fine.
All right, thanks. I was reluctant to do it because my doctor didn't tell me to do it. Unlike you, I was on 16 medications, 8 of which were pain medications, because I'd had 55 years of chronic, moderate to severe pain all over my body in different ways. So I finally did try the patches, and it took my pain, which you have to understand, I was on oxycodone and lots of different things to abate the pain, but I had a 7, and the X39 took me from a 7 to a 1 the first day. And I said, Lord, you've got my attention. Well, fast forward to today, I'm down to 3 medications that I have to take. And my pain is controlled. I was supposed to have severe back surgery, which I have not had. And my life is just very, very different. And it's all due to the patches. But I have a new client who has very bad cognitive decline, not as bad as Myrna's person. He recognized people, but he had a blood clot go to his brain 18 months ago. So he was impaired on part of his body and just totally, non-responsive. He spoke every once in a while, but, not like he used to. And so within a week, he was starting to notice things, like flowers, and talk to his wife when they were driving and stuff. And he hadn't done that in 18 months. And he also had a bag that collected his urine that had to be emptied 3 times a day. And so he had gone into the bathroom one morning and his wife said, I'll be in there in a minute, because she had to do it for him. Well, when she got in there, he had done it already, and he has continued to do it for the past 2.5 weeks, which is all he's been on the patches. He was able to raise his arm and toast his granddaughter at her birthday, which his wife said he hadn't been able to do. And I saw him a week and a half ago, and I said, hey, Mike, how are you feeling? And he said, I feel great. This is why we do this, to bring people back to life and to give them the gift of that God gave us in the first place to heal ourselves. So I'm just really excited about his journey. And he's only used I did use the HAT protocol on him. So X39 and the HAT protocol.
Awesome. And you know what? That is such a blessing. Cognitive decline is one of the most heartbreaking things to watch in a loved one or to have. And so when it helps that, you're just like, woohoo, it is a miracle. Scientific miracle, but it's a miracle. It's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, Sunshower, come on in. And then we need some more hands up. So be thinking what story you're going to share to bless this community.
Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to see some new faces. And thank you so much, Karen, for your great hosting of this call. You always do such a great job. And Kame, what a great story. I love to hear that same story. I'm going to tell you 3 as fast as I can, all about X39. And because we have some new folks, I think I'll tell you the one that many folks know, and that is at age 72, having not been able to smell my whole entire life, but being consistent with X39 for 2 years at that time. Now I can smell. Woo! And so that's been 2 years now. So I'm still wearing my X39. And I ask my body sometimes if I have an ache or a pain, should I put X39 on? And if so, where? So my shoulder's been kind of weird the last few weeks. So I would ask, shall I put it in the usual place behind my neck here or somewhere on the shoulder? And it's like, well, which part of the shoulder? And so some days it was the front, some days it was right around the side, and some days it was towards the back. And my shoulder's doing really good now. We'll see. I know I keep pushing it. We'll see. And I may have to put it back again, but just listen to your body. So here's the 3rd story. And I told Jonathan that I would have pictures. So I actually did that this morning. I put these 3 pictures together. So on the 24th of March, I sliced my finger, not so much wide, but kind of deep, so I just took a picture really fast. I didn't date it. I was lucky to take a picture at all. And then the next few pictures, I made sure that had dates. So let me show you, and I'm also gonna put this in the chat so you can see it better maybe. Let's see, can you see this, you guys?
Yes.
So it looks kind of dark on the on the one side here because it was nighttime, but let's see, can you see that pretty good? So today, just this morning, how's it looking?
Like it never happened.
Wow.
So I'm gonna send that in the chat. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. I might share my finger story later, my finger cut story. Sometimes we get on a theme. Okay. Thank you, Sunshower. That was awesome. Hey, Christina, come on in, and then John.
Good morning. Well, I better share my husband's story about his finger, right?
Yeah.
We were getting ready to go to church and he had invited somebody to come. And so we were like in a rush, in a hurry, but he was cutting some meat. And you know how there's that thin layer that you have to cut off of your ribs? And he was cutting it and he was cutting that thin layer off and he hit that thumb and it cut really deep. Looked like sun showers. And I was like, honey, I think you need stitches in that. We got to go. And he's like, no, I invited somebody who's never been to church. We got to go to church. So I said, okay. So we wrapped it, threw an X39 on it and ran out the door. And later that day, you know how when you get cut like that, it just hurts. Everything you touch hurts, you know, the whole 9 yards. It didn't hurt at all. And within a couple of days, completely just healed up.
Awesome.
So that was just an X39. And then I was going to tell you guys, yesterday, we were doing a little fishing booth, you know, putting little presents on the basket and letting the kids, you know, get their little gifts. Well, I was back there doing that, and the 8-year-old decided she wanted to help. So she came back there, and the 13-year-old had the end of the fishing pole, and he pulled, she pulled. Well, he ended up letting go, and it came back and slammed me right in the face. And you would think a pole like that would not hurt so bad. Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. And I put my hand up, and I had blood all over it. It had actually cut my head a little bit. And cut it open a little bit between my eyebrows and then down on my nose. And it bled really good. And my head was killing me. I mean, I hurt so bad. And I put an X39 and an E on both sides above my eyebrows. And the headache went away, just like that, just like subsided, no more headache. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I wore the patches through the night, and I just took them off this morning. I'll put some more back on later, but and I expect to see that little hole in my head. I should turn my camera on. Usually keep my camera off in the morning. So you can kind of see the little. And then I got a little one on my nose too, but anyways, and all my braid hair.
Those poles are strong for good reason.
What was that?
Fishing poles are strong. I imagine that hurt a lot.
It hurts so bad. So we'll see how quick that heals up. That'll be cool.
All right. You can let us know.
Thank
Probably
you.
next week. It'll probably be gone way before next Monday. All
That's
right.
right.
Thank you. Thank you. And we are past the halfway mark, so it's well past. It's great to go ahead and mention other patches if you want. Hey, John, come on in.
Hey, Karen. What gray hair? You got gray hair. I just wanted to share my ongoing quick story about what the X39 and now the X49 and Eon have done for me. 16 months now I've been on with the patches, and what I've realized is it's really, for me, it's a discipline where 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I can get as close as I can to that. And the ongoing energy that I've realized besides sleep. This morning I've got an organic popcorn business that I got up at 3:30 this morning to make a kind of an emergency delivery, a 200-mile round trip. And I made it really, just zip up and zip back really quickly. No traffic this morning at that hour. And it was amazing how much energy I had while I was doing it, but also when I woke up this morning and then when I got home and right now, it's just my cognitive function, my energy level, all of that has just gradually and cumulatively increased. And it's subtle, but it's actually going from point A to point B where I am today. It's been amazing. And I give the X39 and the other patches a tremendous amount of credit for really strengthening my inner being. So that's kind of my ongoing story today.
Love it. Thank you, John. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
Gary, come on in. Don't forget to unmute, Gary. There you go.
Morning, everybody. So I have a story. I have a gentleman, an Oriental medicine practitioner that I found at the local hot springs. So we've been back and forth for several months, and he signed up last Friday because he had a glass pot of tea on the counter, and it caught on his sleeve, and down it went on his right foot. So he got glass shards and the burns, the 2nd-degree burns. So by the time we found out, and by the time he signed up, it had been a month. So, but anyhow, he put them on and he showed us before and after pictures. He sent Gregory and I before and after pictures, and it's amazing. In 9 days, it's almost healed. So can I put it in the chat? Can I put pictures in the chat to show?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay, I'll attempt to do that. It'll be my first time. But anyhow, amazing story, and I love these patches, and he's convinced now and he's referring other people. So let's see what happens.
Yes, and hey, feel free to, without mentioning names and products and things, see if you can post that on Vibrant Living too, and in Live Younger. Fabulous. We always love
Great
that.
idea. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gary. That's great. And that's why people join. They want to feel better. They want to look better. They want to be better. They want to live better. That's why. Thanks. Okay. Hey, CJ, come on in.
Thank you. What I'd like to share is I was at a wedding, it's been a few months back, and this very mature lady was really having a struggle when she came in from outside, step over the threshold and walk through the kitchen to come to the sofa. And when she tried to sit down, she was really groaning with pain. And I have such a tender heart, and I didn't know her at all. But she was a good friend of the bride and groom, and I just felt like I had to say something. And I had the patches in my little carry in my purse. So I took out a couple of them. I went over by her and I put my hand out to her skin to touch her hand. And I said, could I help you at all? And she goes, oh, my back is so bad. I'm going to have surgery, I think next week, but I really don't want to do the surgery. I've had it before and it doesn't help. And I said, I have something I want to talk to you about. So I just kind of shared a little bit, told her about my experience of what I'd had for pain. And I said, could we just maybe go down the hallway a little way? Someone was in the restroom, so we couldn't go into the bathroom to be private. And I just stuck it on her low back, just under her shirt, under her, by her waistband. And she went back and sat down, and she looked at me after about 10 minutes. She said, what was that? And I said, it's just a little patch for pain. And she said, I don't have any pain. And I said, I can't believe it worked that quickly. And I said, I'm going to give you a couple more to take with you for the next few days, and you call me. And she did. She said, I'm not having the surgery. And about a week later, she and her husband drove. It was quite a distance from where they live to where I am. And we met up and we went to our friend's house, and she signed up right on the spot. And she's been using them, and she's told all her family about it. And her family has just been so embracing it, and it's just been so positive. And it just shows that you show a little concern for someone when they're hurting like that, even though you don't know them. Just reach out, and you never know what the reaction will be, how much benefit it'll be to them. But I just felt so pleased that she was so receptive and that she got results.
Yeah, it's such a great feeling when you are the conduit. You're someone who's led someone else to this place of better health, less pain, maybe no pain. And we do feel almost a commitment that you just have to tell people. Thank you so much, CJ, for sharing. That was beautiful. Hey, Diane, come on in.
Hi, this is something that I thought about the other day. I have one of those whatever pans that's out of cast iron, and I use it all the time, but I forget how hot it gets. And it has these little things to put on the side that you're supposed to use to move it. Well, I didn't use them, and I burnt my fingers on both sides. And I ran in and got an Eon patch, 2 Eon patches, and put them on my burnt fingers, and it immediately stopped the pain, and they did not blister. So I keep those in the kitchen all the time now. Those are such handy little patches to have around. And I've been on the X39 now for 2 years. And yesterday I was trying to think of the name of a tennis partner that I had 30 years ago. And all of a sudden it just popped in my head. So like the other gentleman that was talking about the cognitive ability that you get for staying on them for an extended period, it just makes the biggest difference. So I love these.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Diane. That is wonderful. Fabulous. It's a miracle, but it's science. I thought I saw Kamei again. Kamei, do you want to come in? Thank you so much, Diane. And then Lavelle again. I don't see Kamei anymore.
Well, I was not going to say it because I'm not on camera anyway, this morning. For people, I know that the X39 helps a lot of people with depression, but I've had 40 years of depression, and been on antidepressants for 40 years. And that was one of the medications I got off of. Well, that has been my biggest struggle. So recently I had to go back on an antidepressant, and it's caused me to have tremors, essential tremors, and which had gone away. And that really, hasn't taken care of it either. So I looked at a protocol on one of the.
And be real careful, dear, about naming any special disease states.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I was really sad and unable to function well. Anyway, so I looked at a protocol on an online thing I have for that particular thing, and it involves like 4 sets of energy enhancer. So I used that, and the sadness and inability to function went away in 2 days.
Wow, that is
So-
amazing.
And I had used Nirvana for almost a year, and it helped some, but this really, really knocked it out. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
cool. Maybe you can place
Uh,
somewhere and live younger what you did for that. That would be great.
okay, yeah, okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Lavelle, come on in.
Well, actually, it's the other Lavelle. It's Miss Lavelle. Mijay,
Oh,
how
okay,
are
Miss
you? I just wanted to say when I first started LifeWave, I was in such a horrible place, physically and mentally. My spirit was there, but my physical being wasn't. I was suffering all over my body, and I mean all over, with sores popping up here and there and everywhere, and even in the places you don't want. It's, whether it was the bottom of my feet or, under my arms or, and I was just suffering in my knees and my back. And when Michael Accurso sent these patches to me, he said to my husband, I know Mijay's been there in pain and I've been going through it, but the last 3 weeks I've been able to walk where I wasn't able to walk for months. And so he sent these patches to me, and I'm telling you that I had curly fingers to the point where I couldn't even brush my teeth. I couldn't walk, and the things that I couldn't do, all of a sudden, when I got the patches. Now, I just want to say, great stories to everyone, but every story doesn't start off great. Mine's was that the patches set me on fire. Not that the patches set me on fire. Let me correct that. My body was at the point that there wasn't any cooling mechanism in it. It was already on height. It was already full blown on red. So all it did when I put the patch on was heighten it, like a healing supposed to happen. You got to get worse before you get better. So it was breaking it down. And what happened was that when my husband made a phone call, unbeknownst to who he was calling, and that person called back, he said, "Hello, Mr. Scotton. This is Mr. David Schmidt, the founder and creator of the product.
Woo!
Understand that Mrs. Scotton is in extreme pain, and when she put the patch on, she became more inflamed." And so I'm screaming in the background, screaming my bloody head off. And when he said, "May I speak to her?" "I don't want to speak to no one. I don't want to speak. Oh my God, I'm in fire. I'm in fire." And he said, Mrs. Scotton on a speaker, he said, "If you put the patch on and I'm not putting that patch back on." He says, "Mrs. Scotton, I understand." And he was so calm, cool, and collected like a well-stirred martini. He said, "If you put it on and take it off, put it on and take it off, it will regulate your body back to the colors that it needs to be to start healing it and breaking the pain down." I hadn't had sleep in 2.5 months. And when I listened, and I knew a little bit about biology, but when I listened, it made sense to me because of the colors inside my body. And I did it. I slept through the night like a baby. I woke up and I was scared to go to the bathroom because I had help all the time going to the bathroom. But now I'm by myself. And it was me and God. And I tell you the truth, we made it to the bathroom. We got down on that toilet. We got up from that toilet and I started jumping around because I had no more pain. And I'm here to tell you, everything was back the same. And I just can't live without this. I will always have this product by my side, in my purse, in my bedroom, in my kitchen, everywhere through the house. So thank you for sharing.
Oh, that was a beautiful story. And thank you for sharing the difficulty of when you started and the beauty of David's spirit that he came in to help you and that you listened and you got the relief you needed. That was a beautiful story. Thank you. Hey, we are actually past the bottom of the hour and we have Adele and we have Jen Allen and we're going to go ahead and hear your stories and then we're going to wrap it up. You guys, this has been a great morning. Come on in, Adele, and help us finish it up with our last two.
Great. Well, I have a sleep story, which I have never had before. I thought I was sleeping great. I've been on patches a year, 2.5 years. And I heard Dr. Jeff talk about how wonderful silent nights were, but that you had to wear them for 8 or 10 days in a row for I guess it's the dopamine to pop in. So whatever that, I think that's right. And after 3 or 4 nights, I've been shocked. I'm probably into 6 nights. I am not waking up. I went to bed last night at 10:30 and 11, and I was up at 6, straight through the night, not up for one potty break. So I'm just going to say that's a patch I had never tried I'd only done it a day or two here and there. So be persistent with it if you want a really good night's sleep.
Hey, thank you. You know what? That helps me, Adele, because I thought they didn't work for me. And I might have heard that one time and maybe I didn't pay attention. So I'm going to try that one again, although most of the time I sleep pretty well. Thank you. I know you've helped a lot of people with that. You've all helped people with your stories. Okay, let's go on to our last and definitely not least, Jen Allen.
Hi, I'm not showing my face today. I'm a mess. So I'll see you tonight. Those that are on tonight, I'll see people tonight on Michael's. But I wanted to add, I love the stories today. They're very powerful. As a therapist, the antidepressant or anti-whatever, bad feeling, that really helps. The X39 has helped lots of people. But I just popped into my mind to share with you quickly. A lot of times last night, my daughter had a horrible cramp in her leg. She grabbed the Eon. I slapped it on. It was gone immediately. And so the Eons are very good for pain and cramps. But the other thing, I share this story every once in a while, and I just sort of wanted to tell people, a lot of us I'm 76, get, I've delivered 4 births. And so I can have accidents, used to, but I had started wearing pads like 3 years ago, just to make sure I'd be safe during the day. Well, all of a sudden I realized after a year of wearing X39, 49, I didn't need them. I was dry all the time. And one of my male clients that had signed up for X39, 49 confessed to me he had had the same problem and it had gone away. So I just want to say that to people because nobody will share that story. I figure I don't care. I will, So I just, some people have it, I'm sure. So that was for me very important. And my other friend that had the man, it had also cleared his brain. He was having difficulty remembering and he started remembering. So that's important. So happy day, everybody. And some of you, I hope to see tonight on another show. We're all
I love it. Drier
we're
panting,
younger.
but better brain. I love it.
Yeah.
So, hey, you
Thank you.
guys, thank you. Every single person who shared your story was powerful. You helped somebody. You helped lots of somebodies. Thank you. Come on back next week, same time, same station. I'm turning this over to Gregory and Robin, if she's there.
Actually, we've got one more. Sarah Glenn wanted to share, and she couldn't raise her hand. She's on her phone, I think. So, go ahead, Sarah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I shared it on the chat. My story, I think it was so dramatic. It happened down a spirit. I really wanted to die. I stopped eating. I couldn't function. I refused to take medication because both my mother and my daughter died from medication, I should say. But anyway, so yeah, I got very down. I just went to visit a doctor friend and she just plonked an X39 on the back of my neck, but I didn't know it was an X39. She didn't say anything. Within half an hour, the fog lifted. I felt good. I felt my old self. I felt full of life. And it's still going on 3 years later, and I'm 80 years young this year. And I'm still jumping out of bed. Oh, what am I going to do today?
Oh,
So it's a blessing. That's my story.
Oh, that's so
Thank you,
wonderful,
Gregory.
Sarah. Yeah, thank you. Congratulations. Are you still using that same patch or did you change it? No, just kidding.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
giving up on X39. I'll take
that's
it to the
great.
grave
That's
with me.
great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Karen. You always do such a wonderful job hosting. Thanks everyone for sharing these life-altering stories. And that's the driver. I mean, we are enhancing and changing people's lives and extending people's lives. And so what greater reward is there? And I can't believe we get paid to do this. So there's a generous compensation plan along with the rewards of just helping ourselves and helping people we love and care for. So please join us tonight on our call, our Monday evening call, with some basic training and updated information. And on tomorrow evening on our doctor's call, we're going to have Dr. Jeff and with Janet hosting. So it'll be a great call.
Hosted by Janet, yeah.
Okay. Robin, did you want to share anything else? Did I cover it?
Oh, well, I just loved hearing the stories today. And I actually am down in the gym and I got on the elliptical trainer for the first time. So I am healing faster than expected. And I'm very, very grateful for this
So for those of you
technology.
who don't know,
So thank you all for your amazing stories.
yeah, for those of you who don't know, on Christmas Eve, while carrying some dirty dishes from the dining room to the kitchen, Robin tripped over one of the 5 or 6 dogs that were here along with the family and fell and broke her left shoulder. Very painful experience. They say shoulders, kidney stones, and childbirth are all, at the top of the pain scale. I think Robin can attest to that. But congratulations, you're on the elliptical for the first time.
I know.
And that's
I'm
not
very
an April
happy.
Fool- It's not an April Fool's joke.
No, it's not. Yeah, and I was on my reformer too, so I can lie flat for the first time in months, and
Yeah.
I'm more independent. And those of you that know what it's like to lose your dependence, it's difficult. So, thank you, everybody. This is wonderful. We got a great call tomorrow and tonight, and happy to be with everybody. And happy springtime. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Yes.
Yes. Happy springtime, Passover, Easter, and happy spring. And if you'd like to unmute and say farewell, thanks everyone for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Great
you,
call.
everyone.
Hi, everybody. Have an awesome
Sharing your stories.
Thank you,
Have a great
Karen.
extended
Great,
holiday.
great session, Karen. Thank you.
Great.
Happy to see your faces.
Thank you, everybody.
Great
stories.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Love you guys.
Bye,
everyone.
awesome stories.
Thank you.
Love the story.
Bye. Thank you, Karen.
Happy healing.
Good night.
Happy healing.
Bye-bye.
Happy healing.
Bye. Bye.
All right, thanks.
Keep on patching.
Thank you. Bye.
Push, pass until something happens. Push.
That's great. Bye, everyone.
Bye.